Hello, hello, hello. Lilia is here. Today is a very important topic. I'm going to teach you how to read food labels, and I will teach you little tips and little secrets that many people don't know about food labels. Okay, so let's get started. Why do you need, the question is, why do you need to learn properly how to read food labels? As much as I promote eating from the nature, eating by the season, and eating like our ancestors used to eat 100 years ago, let's be realistic here. It's almost unavoidable not to buy packaged food these days. So, for that reason, I believe that everybody Everybody needs to learn how to read properly food labels and know exactly what you're putting in your body. So all packaged foods come with a nutrition label meant to provide you with the information necessary to know exactly what you're eating. It's your right. So understanding what is in the foods you eat helps you make a healthier choices. So checking food labels also makes it easier for you to compare the nutrient content of different options. Okay, so I'm going to show you the real label. So for doing that, I need to share my screen. Okay, and I'm going to share my screen. Just give me a sec. Here you go. Okay, share it screen. Beautiful. And okay, I hope everybody see the screen. Okay, so this is the full screen. Excellent. So, and this is the real label. Okay. So this is an example of a nutrition facts panel. So food labels by law have to be shown on all packaged products. You don't see food labels on real food, right? I call food from nature, like apples, peppers, lettuce, or anything like that. Anything that is processed or man-made requires a food label. The first thing you want to look for is the serving size. You always read the serving size and make sure that this is the actual size actual amount you're going to be eating, right? So on our label, the serving size is 3/4 of a cup. The number in brackets is the actual weight of the serving in grams. So when you're comparing two products together, so the best way to make sure that you're comparing apples to apples is actually by the weight of the serving size. Make sure that the weights of the two products you're comparing are the same, similar. Next, you're going to look at the caloric amount. And the one question you always want to ask yourself is, where are the majority of the calories coming from? And are they good quality calories? Just because something is low or high calories doesn't mean that they are good quality, right? Clean and healthy food. Something that is 100 calories could potentially raise your blood sugar levels and cause you to have cravings all day long if it is in the form of a 100-calorie snack pack, right? And I'm talking about, those 100 calories snacks, like little chocolates, whatever. And people, like a lot of women buying those and thinking, okay, this is good, this is 100 calories. But those 100 calories will be stored in a fat because it's pure sugar and bad fat. Compare if to something that if you're eating, for example, 8 to 10 nuts, which are 100 calories too, but provide you excellent source of fat and excellent source of other nutrients, including fiber, and they will actually keep your blood sugar level stable. Okay? So where the majority of the calories come from is based on the macronutrients. And we have only 3 macro: carb, protein, or fat. that has the highest gram amount. So in our example, carbohydrates, look at the down, carbohydrates wins because it's 25 grams. So that means this product is pure carb. So that's where the majority of the calories are coming from. So we are going to start from the top and work our way down. So we can see that the product is 160 calories. Always asking where the calories are coming from and are they good quality is very important question. So next, we are going to move to fat. With fat, legally, the nutrition facts panel has to display saturated fat in grams and trans fat grams. So making sure that your saturated fat doesn't go above 20 grams of fat per day. So you see on your left side of the label, so there's indication saturated fat, 20 grams per day. You obviously want to stick to 0 grams of trans fats in a day. You want 0 trans fat in a day because trans fats is carcinogenic. So which means when you consume trans fat, it awakes cancerous cells. So our goal is to minimize, completely remove trans fat from our diet that, cancerous cells will be in a sleeping mode all our life, right? So now, this is the secret. There is a sneaky label in law that if the product itself contains half a gram, 0.5 of trans fat or less, it is not legally required to be displayed on the nutrition facts panel. So what does this mean for you? It means if you have double the serving size, double, triple, whatever of the serving size, then there is a potential for you to actually be taking in trans fats. You just wouldn't know it because per serving size, it's less than the legally required amount. So how can you know that you're consuming trans fat? Think about it. You will find out in ingredient list. Identifying unhealthy fats on the label. So try to avoid the word partially hydrogenated or hydrogenated. Those turn into trans fats. Anything with the word fractionated, you want to avoid completely too. Anything vegetable oil or commercial yellow oil, sunflower oil, safflower oil, soybean oil, corn oil, palm oil, because there is commercial before these oils. So they are not real oils. They made in laboratory. These are all inflammatory omega-6 oil that raise inflammatory markers and are linked to cardiovascular diseases. So please make sure avoid that. Next, we go to the next line, and it's cholesterol and sodium. So cholesterol, you want to stick to about 300 per day, and sodium between approximately 1400 to 2400 milligrams per day. So salt, let me tell you this, don't remove salt completely from your diet. Salt is incredibly important in our diet. I'm not talking about processed table white salt. I'm talking about very good quality sea salt or Himalayan salt, all those natural salts. Salt is a mineral, and we need it in order for our thyroid to be productive, keep our metabolism high, and burn a good number of calories. Okay, so, and it's important also for us to absorb iodine. Please don't remove all of the good quality salts from your diet. There is nothing wrong with adding a little sea salt to your vegetables, with a little bit, a little bit here and there. It's excellent. Okay. So next, where are we? We are moving on the important line, and carbohydrates. And here is a great tip for you to remember. Every time you're assessing a food label, so for every 4 grams of sugar, it's equal 1 teaspoon, okay? It's also on the left side of the label. As you can see, sugar is 4 grams, 1 teaspoon. So in our case, you're eating 6 teaspoons of sugar in the case of having, for example, a Coke. Oh my goodness, you're consuming 10 teaspoons of sugar in one sitting. That's crazy. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't sit down with the bowl of sugar and a teaspoon and eat 10 teaspoons in one sitting, would you? So I'm not clear why people even drinking Coca-Cola or any pop, you know. So, however, you also want to make sure with the carbs that you're having a minimum of 35 grams of fiber per day. So that's the next line under carbs. Remember, fiber has 0 calories. We cannot digest fiber. For that reason, it doesn't go in our bloodstream, right? So, you should have 3 to 5 grams of fiber per serving at least. Okay, now we are going to move to identify names of sugar on food labels. Okay, so I'm going to jump into this screen. Okay, so as you can see, on the left, we have natural sugars, and on the right, we have artificial and natural sugar. So you need to avoid all sugars on the right, and you see them in ingredient lists, okay? Any of those sugars raise your blood sugar level, produce insulin. It's not good. They're unhealthy. Absolutely. You can see it's like table of chemical table, right? So high fructose corn syrup, fructose, they are highly addictive. Stay away from them. So on the left, we have natural sugar, and you can see, you can pronounce them, and they're all natural. So in a small amount, okay to have them. But remember, they're still sugars in your blood after digestion, right? So don't eat in a big quantity. Here and there a little bit, you are fine. They're healthy stuff. Okay, I'm going back to the label. Here you go. Okay, and we are, okay, the last one, protein. So protein is very important, but again, don't overdo it. So lean sources are always the best, and the general amount that you want to have at meal would be between 15 to 25 grams of protein per serving. You don't need more than that protein, okay? So, and I want to finish with some general rules to follow. The fewer ingredients, the better. If you don't recognize more than 2 ingredients or cannot pronounce them, please don't buy it. Put back on the shelf and look at different brand. If the words partially hydrogenated or hydrogenated are in the ingredient list, put them back. These are hidden trans fats. That's all I have for you today, and I am going to stop sharing the screen. And here I am back. Excellent. And I hope you learned something today. So if you have any questions or comments, so please put below this video, okay? And I see you next time. Bye-bye.